Hi students, I am K. Anil Reddy, JL in Political Science, Government Junior College, Kachiguda. Students, as you all know, for the last few classes, we have been doing the model question paper as well as important questions. So far, we have completed 4 questions in our model question paper, and we have also done one important question, that is the Prime Minister of India, apart from the model question paper. So today we will try and discuss the 5th question, that is explain the various factors which led to the agitation for a separate Telangana state. Okay. So this is a question which is being asked very frequently in the annual examination papers. So therefore, students need to learn this question carefully and write in your examination, as this is the very important question. Okay. So we have to mention the various factors which led to the agitation for separate Telangana state. So what are the factors? Okay. That we need to mention. So firstly, we have to give small introduction, like in which we have to mention why the agitation has taken place. See, the basic thing which you have to remember is right from 1948 to 1956, Telangana was called as Hyderabad state, which remained independent. Okay, it was an independent state. But due to the gentleman's agreement in the year 1956, the Telangana region was merged with Andhra region, and we called it as a Andhra Pradesh state. Okay. So whatever the agreement that was made in the year 1956, that was not at all followed properly. It was violated with letter and spirit. So therefore, there was an agitation for separate Telangana state. Okay. So as the gentleman agreement was not properly implemented, so therefore the people of Telangana have to fight for the separate state. Okay. So these things you have to make, these points you have to mention in the introduction. Though there are good agreements, if they are not practically implemented, then we have to witness the agitations like separate Telangana state. Okay. So this is the thing which you have to mention when you write this answer as an introductory part. You have to say, right from 1948 to 1956, Hyderabad remained as an independent state. Due to the agreement, gentleman's agreement in the year 1956, Andhra Pradesh state was formed with a combination of Andhra region and Telangana region. That means 2 Telugu speaking regions. Okay. So after the formation of Andhra Pradesh state, the gentleman's agreement was violated with letter and spirit. So whatever the agreement that was made, it was not properly followed. It was totally violated. So these are the points you have to touch when you write the introduction. Then there are 12 points which you have to mention clearly. The first and foremost point is the amendment in the Mulki rules. So Mulki rules were amended so that the residential status was also amended in the Telangana region. So what does this Mulki means? Mulki always tells us about the locality, okay, or residence. Okay. So during the gentleman's agreement, it was said that it was actually 15 years. The Mulki rules were implemented for 15 years. Whoever comes and stays in Telangana for the period of 15 years, they will be considered as residents or locals. Okay. But in the gentleman's agreement, it was concluded that 12 years of stay should be implemented. Okay. 12 years of stay should be implemented. That was agreed upon in the gentleman's agreement. But again, that was also reduced to 4 years. So the amendment in the Mulki rules from 12 years to 4 years, okay, which decides about the residents of Telangana region. Okay, so with this, what happened? The employment and educational opportunities of Telangana people were occupied by the Andhra people. Okay, so with the effect of this 12 years to 4 years, the amendment which was made, due to this amendment, the people of Telangana have to lose their opportunities in employment as well as the educational facilities. Okay, those facilities were totally occupied by the Andhra people. So this was the first and foremost violation that took place in Telangana region. So this is the first point you have to write. So the domicile rule, which was called Mulki rules, was amended from 12 years to 4 years. So therefore, the residents of Telangana have to lose their jobs and educational opportunities. Okay. Then what is the second point? Second point is that the revenue share of Telangana always remained above 40%, and on the other side, the poverty in Telangana was also about 40.78%. Okay, so this is very much more when compared to Andhra region. Especially the districts like Mahbubnagar have to face severe poverty problems. Okay, so here one thing we have to remember: Telangana has contributed its revenue share more than 40% all the time, but the poverty line, the poverty in Telangana was also more when compared to Andhra region. That means the money with the revenue which was generated in Telangana was also spent in Andhra region. So this is also second reason we can say. Okay, so above 40% of revenue was incurring from Telangana region, but still the poverty was also there for about 40.78%. The severely affected district of Telangana was Mahbubnagar. So when compared to the entire region, here the poverty was more. Okay, so this is second reason. So what you have to write? Though the revenue share of Telangana region was more than 40%, even the people below poverty line was also happened for about 40.78% in Telangana region. That means the revenue which was generated from Telangana region was not spent for the Telangana people. So this is the second reason. Moving on to the third reason. Third reason is during the Jayandhra agitation. So Jayandhra agitation happened in the year 72 and 73, 1972 and 1973. So after the Jayandhra agitation, Mulki rules and TRC, Telangana Regional Councils, were abolished. Okay, so whatever the safeguards we thought, Telangana people thought, they were totally abolished by the government. So whatever the safeguards that used to be there for the Telangana people, they were also totally removed. They were also totally abolished. Okay, so third point will be during the Andhra agitation. After the Andhra agitation, the Mulki rules as well as TRC, Telangana Regional Coordination Committees, were also abolished. They were totally removed. Then moving on to the fourth point. So here the fourth reason is literacy problem in Telangana. So here there were no proper educational facilities for the Telangana people till early 90s. Okay, till early 90s, we never had proper educational facilities in the Telangana region. Okay, we were in the composite Andhra Pradesh state, but Telangana region was neglected even in the education field also. So till 90s, we never had proper educational facilities here. Okay, and no professional colleges like medicine, engineering colleges were also not properly established in the Telangana region. So therefore, what happened? the Telangana literacy rate remained about 37% itself. Okay, so we have to see the low literacy rate in Telangana region. Only 37% literacy rate was there till 90s. There were very few universities that were existing in Telangana region till 1990s. Okay, we had Kakatiya, Uthmaniyya, except those two renowned universities, we never had proper university system in Telangana region. So here the fourth point clearly says there were no educational facilities for the Telangana people till early 90s. So therefore, the literacy rate of Telangana remained at 37%. Okay, there were no professional colleges which can give us the employment opportunities. Okay, like medicine and engineering colleges, and very few universities were there existing at that point of time. So this is the fourth point. Let's move on to the fifth point, which says the two major projects that were taken up on the Krishna river were catering the needs of Andhra but not to the Telangana region. Okay, so this point also is very, we have to observe this very carefully. What are the two major projects? One is Nagarjuna Sagar and Srisailam project. These two projects are constructed on the Krishna river. Okay, but they are catering the needs of Andhra people, not Telangana people. For example, you take Nagarjuna Sagar Dam. It was totally constructed in the Nalgonda district. The people of Nalgonda have sacrificed their land for the construction of Nagarjuna Sagar. But the water was allocated to Andhra region. That means the more benefit was taken by Andhra region when compared to Telangana region. The project is in Telangana, but the benefit is going to the Andhra people. Okay, so these two projects, whatever the share of water that Telangana needs to get, we did not get the proper share in water. Okay, from these two projects. Then coming to the sixth point clearly says that one more important and major project which was constructed on the river Godavari. Okay, that is Sriram Sagar project. Sriram Sagar project was aimed to give about 20 lakh acres water to the 20 lakh acres within the period of 10 years. But even after the completion of 50 years, it was able to give only water to the 2 lakh acres of land. Okay, that means the proposed project of Sriram Sagar was constructed very slowly. The target was to finish the project within 10 years, and the proposed target to give the water was for 20 lakh acres. But even after the 50 years, we were able to give only water for 2 lakh acres. Okay, only 2 lakh acres of land got the water from Sriram Sagar project. Okay, so the proposed allocation was also not given. So because this is the only project which was exclusively meant for Telangana region. So this was also constructed very slowly. This was also very much neglected during the Andhra rule. Let's move on to the seventh point. Seventh point says the water allocation which was made from Srisailam left canal water was also not given the share for Telangana. So the water from left canal, Srisailam left canal was allocated to Telangana region. But still the share of water was also not given to Telangana region. So whatever the water we need to have from the left canal from Srisailam project was not allocated for us. Okay, this is also the seventh violation, we can say. Moving on to the eighth one. the uh, the project constructed during the Nizam time was not properly maintained. That means the silt was not properly removed and it was not properly maintained. So that's why the Ayakattu under the Nizam Sagar project has gone down about 1 lakh acres. So 1 lakh acres of land did not get the water due to the non-maintenance of the Nizam Sagar project. The project which was constructed during the Nizam times were not shown proper, um, it was not given proper preference. Okay, the silt was not removed properly, the maintenance was not good. So therefore, the Ayakattu under that was gone down for about 1 lakh acres. Okay, so this is also one of the important projects of Telangana region which was not given proper importance. Nizam Sagar project. Then moving on to the ninth one, the um, the Manjira river water, okay, which is augmented to meet the needs of the irrigation for Nizamabad and Medak districts. That was also diverted to the Hyderabad in the name of drinking water. So here the water which are allocated for the irrigation facilities from Manjira river for both districts of Telangana, one is Medak as well as one other is Nizamabad. The water was not provided for the irrigation facilities and they were diverted to the Hyderabad in the name of drinking water. Okay, so the augmented irrigation facilities were not fulfilled during the Andhra period. They were diverted to the Hyderabad in the name of drinking water. Okay, this is also the ninth point, Manjira river water. Now let's move on to the 10th one, that is the water which is allocated in the Rajoli Banda diversion canal. Okay, the share in the Rajoli Banda diversion canal was also not given to the Telangana people. They were also diverted to the Rayalaseema region. Okay, they were forcefully taken to the Rayalaseema region. So the Rajoli Banda diversion canal, the water should come for the Mahbubnagar district, which is proposed to give for about 50 to 60,000 acres of land, water for the 50 to 60,000 acres of land, but that was also not done during the Andhra ruling. Okay, so this is also one of the reason. Okay, Rajali Banda diversion canal water were also not allocated to the Telangana region. They were forcefully taken to the Rayalaseema region. Okay, then moving on to the 11th one, if the same status is continued further, the Telangana area will remain as arid area. It will become a drought area because if there is no water, then there will be no cultivation. Okay, so therefore, if the same situation continues, what happens? Automatically, the area becomes drought area. So this is also the 11th point. And last and final point you have to write is the gentleman's agreement was totally violated. Right from the deputy chief minister and other allocation of other portfolios were constantly violated. Okay, so therefore the people of Telangana has to agitate for the separate states. Okay, so whatever the agreement that was made during the 1956, that was not properly followed. Right from the deputy chief ministership and allocation of other portfolios, all the entire agreement was totally violated with letter and spirit. So therefore, the entire Telangana have had an wish for the separate statehood. So 12th point, you can say the deputy chief ministership and constant violation of other portfolios have definitely made the people to fight for the separate Telangana statehood. So these are the 12 points which you are expected to write in your examination when this question is asked. Explain the various factors which led to the agitation for separate Telangana state. So these are the 12 points you have to remember. Now, let's discuss one more important question which is also there in the model paper. That is, discuss the formation of Telangana as a new state in the Indian Union. So this is also one of the important questions which were asked in the previous papers. So we can also expect this question in the annual exam paper. So please consider this also as an important question. Okay, from 9th chapter there are 3 questions. Okay, already in the model question paper we have seen 2. So therefore we can also expect 2 questions from the this chapter in the annual examination. So whatever the question that we have discussed earlier and this one you have to learn thoroughly. So discuss the formation of Telangana as a new state in the Indian Union. So this is a question. So what you have to write? You have to write introduction first. So in the introduction you have to write the process which is being followed to create a new state. So that means whatever the process that is there in the article 3, you have to write that. So here you have to remember that the Parliament of India is entitled to create or abolish any new state. So according to article 3 of the Indian Constitution, the Parliament has got the power to create a new state. This thing you have to remember. Okay, this is a very, very important line. Okay, as far as this answer is concerned. Okay, Article 3 of the Indian Constitution has given the power to the Parliament to create a new state. So here the Government of India have followed the procedure. Firstly, it has drafted the bill and the bill was referred to the Andhra Pradesh Assembly formally, okay, by the President of India. Then Andhra Pradesh Assembly has rejected that bill. Remember, Andhra Pradesh Assembly has rejected the AP Reorganization Act 2014 was rejected by the Andhra Pradesh Assembly. Then the bill was again referred to the Parliament. Okay. So when the bill was referred to the Parliament by the President of India, so here even though Andhra Pradesh state have rejected the bill, the Parliament has got the power whether to accept it or reject it. Okay. So sending the bill to the Andhra Pradesh was only a formality. The ultimate power is in the hands of the Parliament. So the Parliament, the bill was referred to the Parliament by the President of India. Okay, and ultimately the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have passed those bills. Okay, with a majority. Okay, then the bill was sent to the presidential assent. So the President Pranab Mukherjee has signed on it on 1st of March 2014. And the Government of India have declared the act will come into force from 2nd June 2014. So therefore we can say 2nd June 2014 was a remarkable day in the history of Telangana, because Telangana became the 29th state in the Indian Union on 2nd June 2014. Of course we have 28 states now, but at that point of time Telangana became as a new 29th state in the Indian Union. Then what you have to write? See, this all should be in the introduction. Okay, according to Article 3, Parliament is entitled to create a new state. Okay, accordingly the Parliament, the Government of India have prepared a draft bill and it was sent to the Andhra Pradesh Assembly by the President of India. Andhra Pradesh Assembly has rejected the bill. Okay, here Parliament has got the power to reject or accept the bill. So therefore, the bill was again referred to the Parliament. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have accepted the bill. Okay, then ultimately, with the presidential assent on 1st of March 2014, it became an act. So the act has come into effect from 2nd of June 2014. So therefore, the long cherished goal of Telangana people became a reality on 2nd of June 2014. So here you have to mention certain salient features of this AP Reorganization Act. So what are the main provisions in the AP Reorganization Act also you have to mention. First and foremost thing is new state of Telangana formed with the 10 districts. Okay. So now at present there are 33 districts. Of course, you can mention this point. If you can remember, you mention it. Otherwise, you can ignore it. But you can simply say the new state of Telangana was formed with the 10 districts. Because this was only mentioned in the AP Reorganization Act. 33 districts were not mentioned. After the formation of Telangana only, we have created some more districts. So you have to only mention Telangana. A new state of Telangana was formed with the 10 districts. Okay. Second thing is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh has got 13 districts. It continued as a state. Okay, with the 13 districts, 1-3. Okay. Then third point you have to mention is capital. Hyderabad as a common capital. Hyderabad is said to be remain as a common capital not exceeding 10 years. Here you have to remember Hyderabad will remain as a common capital for both Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana for not exceeding 10 years. Of course, now we have different capitals. That's okay. That's another story. But you have to mention here Hyderabad, the state of Hyderabad, Hyderabad remains common capital for both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana not exceeding 10 years. Fourth point you have to mention is common governor. Okay, there will be common governor for both the states, Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana, for certain period of time. Okay, of course, now it has two different governors. Okay, what is mentioned in the State Reorganization Act? There will be separate common governors for certain period of time. Fifthly, members of Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha members were also allocated to Andhra Pradesh as well as Telangana. Telangana got 7 members and Andhra Pradesh got 17 members. Okay, 11 members. Andhra Pradesh got 11 members and Telangana got 7 members. Okay, then Rajya Sabha members 7 for Telangana and 11 for Andhra Pradesh. Moving on to Lok Sabha. So Lok Sabha members were also divided. Telangana got 17 and Andhra Pradesh got 25 members. Moving on to the Legislative Assembly. Telangana Assembly contains 119 members, whereas Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly contains 175 members. Okay. Then moving on to the State Legislative Council. So the members in the council for Telangana stands at 40 and members of Legislative Council for Andhra Pradesh stands at 58. Okay, in our textbook only 50 has been given. You have to correct it. That is 58. And last and finally, there are other provisions which are also mentioned in the States Reorganization AP States Reorganization Act 2014, which also includes separate high courts for both the states and tribunals to solve the water disputes. Okay, and certain other provisions to solve the disputes on sharing of water and other resources. Okay, so all these are the various provisions that are mentioned in the AP Reorganization Act 2014. So all these things you have to answer when you write this answer. Okay, and other way also you can write this answer simple. So right from 2001 to 2014, what exactly happened? Also, you can write in a very brief manner. Okay, that is also will be correct. But this is a better way while attempting this question. First, you have to write the process of Article 3, and you also have to mention the various provisions which are laid down in the AP Reorganization Act 2014. Okay, so in the next class, we will discuss some more questions. Thank you.